I am sitting in my attic, and because we are not going to finish the attic floors or anything like that, finishing the attic insofar as putting plywood down means that I can start moving a bunch of stuff from our old house over here. And I'm trying very hard to purge a lot of stuff as we go, but the older you get, the more stuff you somehow want to hang on to. I did find some very cool photos today that I thought that I would take a minute and show you, because I come by this building off-grid DIY cabin budget bug, honestly, in my family tree. You've seen my dad help us out with some things in some other videos on this channel. But my mom also has a strong legacy of off-grid building. And those are some of the photos that I found in this tub of photos. I thought I'd show them to you. So my mom saved up the money along with a partner of hers at the time to buy land and start building through weaving. So she was a weaver for quite a while and sold her stuff to the San Francisco elite, among others. This is her holding a piece that she had done, and this is my mom, very pretty woman, wearing that same piece that she would have sold. From what I can tell, these photos are kind of portfolio photographs. Her partner also made stained glass. Can't see it very well there, but just kind of that same principle that holds true today of working whatever hustle you can to make enough money to make this dream happen. The first piece of land that they bought was in Albion over on the coast in Mendocino County, covered in redwoods, and they then proceeded to source a lot of lumber from the land itself and carry it into place. And then they took some pictures of the build as it went along. So, you know, I'm sure contractors would look at this style of building and kind of shudder, but the fact of the matter is that you do what you can, when you can, with what you've got. And this was what they had. And they would often, I know this was true of this house as well as the house that I spent time in my childhood. And it's true to a certain extent with what we did here. You build your house based on what you have. So we did that with our windows that we were able to score. Here are some other photographs of the house as it was being built. You can see it has very low ceilings, but the thing about low ceilings is that it's a lot more efficient to heat. There's an example of someone in a low ceiling situation. This is the house once it was being lived in, and you can tell that they also sourced windows probably creatively and added them in where they could, how they could. There's a view from the outside, probably a little later on because there's another shed that had been built alongside. And just some other pictures of hippie life in the 1960s, I believe, is when this was. We've come a long way, baby. So now I am doing what I can't even pretend is the same thing, although it's probably the 2022 equivalent, as close as I care to get, to be perfectly honest. We have heavy equipment they did not have. We have power tools they did not have. My mom talks about the house that she built after the one I just showed you. She secured the foundation to boulders that were in place, and she did that using a tool called a star drill, which is a hand tool for drilling a core out of a boulder. And I can't even imagine what that must have been like. The houses that they built were cozy, I know, because I grew up in them, and structurally sound enough that I never worried, my mom never worried. Families never want to put their family in jeopardy or in danger, and that was one of the calls behind my mom's political activism with some others to get Class K building ordinances passed in counties in California, which has allowed me to do what I've been doing, building my own house. Yes, we've had help from professionals. Yes, I've been able to afford to do that. People aren't. And sometimes I think it's really an equity issue when we talk about building codes and fees and things like that. We have such a housing shortage, at least in this part of the country, that I think it's time to take another look at owner building and empowering people to make their own shelters in a way that is safe and economical. Just my 2 cents.